It was one of those perfect summer mornings, the kind where sunlight dances through the trees and the air smells like fresh-cut grass and possibility. On Maplewood Lane, kids were out riding bikes, sprinklers hissed in front yards, and somewhere down the street, laughter echoed. That laughter came from Emma and Jack, two small kids sitting behind a plastic table stacked with paper cups, lemons, and a handwritten sign that said, "Lemonade, $1 for animal shelter dog face." They were proud, excited, and sticky with sugar. Their dad, Ryan Carter, watched from the porch, smiling, sipping his coffee. It was innocent, it was sweet, it was what childhood should be. Until the HOA showed up. A white SUV rolled to a stop across the street. Out stepped Patricia Walker, the HOA president, clipboard in hand, sunglasses on, the kind of woman who saw joy as a violation waiting to happen. She stood at the edge of the driveway and said in her sharpest tone, "Mr. Carter, are you aware that your children are conducting commercial activity on HOA property?" Ryan blinked. "It's a lemonade stand, Patricia." "Yes, and Section 4.2 of the bylaws clearly prohibits unapproved commercial sales. You'll need to shut it down immediately or face a fine." Emma's smile faded. Jack looked confused. The paper cups trembled in their small hands. Ryan stayed calm. "They're raising money for the local animal shelter. It's not about profit." Patricia didn't flinch. "Rules are rules. We can't allow an exception." She turned, clicked her pen, and walked away. Ryan watched her drive off, his jaw tightening. He could feel his kids' eyes on him, waiting, hopping. That night, when the kids went to bed, Ryan opened his laptop. Because what Patricia didn't know was that Ryan Carter wasn't just a dad. He was also a lawyer. And not just any lawyer, one who specialized in property and civil law. For the next few hours, the glow of his laptop filled the kitchen as he scrolled through the HOA bylaws, line by line, clause by clause. He smiled when he found it. Section 4.2, commercial activity conducted for personal profit. He highlighted it, leaned back, and whispered, "Not-for-profit activity is not restricted." The next morning, Ryan walked his kids down the street with their table, pitcher, and sign, this time right in front of the HOA office. Patricia was there, stunned. "Ryan, what do you think you're doing?" He smiled politely. "Just teaching my kids about law, Patricia." He pointed to a new sign on the table that now read, "All proceeds donated to Maplewood Animal Shelter, non-profit fundraiser." Neighbors began to gather, phones came out, some cheered. "You can't," Patricia started, but Ryan cut in. "Actually, according to your own bylaws, Section 4.2 applies only to for-profit activities. This, Patricia, is a charitable fundraiser. I'm sure you wouldn't want to fine children for helping homeless animals, would you?" The silence that followed was heavy, then broken by the sound of clapping. The neighbors loved it. By noon, half the neighborhood had shown up to buy lemonade. Even the mailman stopped by for a cup. The kids laughed again, their shy smiles returning. And Patricia, she retreated inside the office, slamming the door. By evening, the story had made its way onto social media. Someone had posted a photo with the caption, "HOA tries to ban kids, lemonade stand, dad goes full lawyer mode." It went viral. The next day, the local newspaper called, then the evening news. And just like that, the HOA of Maplewood Lane became the most talked about board in town, for all the wrong reasons. When reporters asked Patricia for a comment, she refused. But behind the scenes, Ryan knew something had changed. 2 days later, he received a letter from the HOA. It wasn't a fine, it wasn't a warning. It was an apology. "Dear Mr. Carter, upon review, we acknowledge that the lemonade stand operated by your children was not in violation of HOA policy. We appreciate your community spirit and your contribution to local charities. Sincerely, Maplewood Lane, HOA. Ryan read it aloud to his kids over breakfast. Emma giggled, "So we can do it again." Ryan smiled, "Every summer, sweetheart." That weekend, the lemonade stand returned, bigger, brighter, and surrounded by cheerful neighbors. A banner hung behind the kids' table. "Lemonade for love, every cup helps." Even Patricia showed up this time. She stood awkwardly in line, sunglasses off, a few dollars in her hand. When she reached the front, Emma poured her a cup and said, "All money goes to the animals, Miss Patricia." Patricia nodded quietly. "That's very kind of you, dear." Ryan caught her eye, and for a moment, even she seemed human again. As the sun dipped below the houses, the neighborhood buzzed with laughter, kindness, and a new sense of unity. It wasn't about lemonade anymore. It was about standing up, kindly but firmly, for what's right. About reminding people that rules should protect joy, not punish it. And as Ryan watched his kids hand a few crumpled bills to the shelter representative later that evening, he couldn't help but smile. Because sometimes, the sweetest kind of justice comes with a little sugar and lemon yellow.